Hey there, Heather Ho, there's Jeff Cannadama. Welcome to round three of the PBA Top 50 qualification tournament for bowling. 32 gentlemen out of these 50 will be going toe to toe. And we do have a rule 25 matches, the winner of each match, and the seven highest scores get to the 32 team player turn. And then, of course, there'll be random draw to see who will face who. Anyhow, we have five matches for you as per usual, and hopefully trying to get some matchups. Our first matchup the day is Pete Weber versus Mike Durbin. Here we go. There's Pete Weber. First draw is 3-2-2. That's a 7. Only 7 pins. Durbin. There's a 4-4-2. That's a K on everyone's board. Durbin. There's a 1-5-3. So that is a spare. Weber. There's a 4-1-3. That's a spare himself. Then he throws a 4-4-2. That's 10. That's a strike. That's 10 to 15. That's a strike. Durbin. There's a 4-1-2. He only gets 7 pins. He gets a spare. Fourth frame is a 4-6-2. That's 12 points. That's a K on everyone's board. Pete throws a 5-5-3. 13. Bad news, though. It's a pair of fives. And it goes to frame number 2. If it was a pair of sixes, it goes back a frame for a strike. On to 5. He throws a 3-1-2. That is terrible. That's a 6. That is a open frame. Durbin throws a 1-3-5. He gets a spare, but he's going to open his points. Durbin throws a 1-1-2, and that's 4. That's an out of pocket short, and they give him 9 and then miss pin. Weber throws a 1-6-1. He can't take advantage of it because he would have taken, if he got a strike, he could have taken advantage of it, but he only gets 8-1, so he's down by 11 points. 7. He throws a 2-3-4, 5-6-7-8. That's a spare. Durbin throws a 2-6-3. That's a K on everyone's board. That's 11 points. On 8, he throws a 6-6-5. That's 17, but pair of sixes, he goes back a frame, and that's frame number 7 score, and that's a strike. Weber throws a 6-4-2. That's a K. That's 12 points. On 9, he throws 5-6-6. That's a strike because that's a pair of sixes back one frame, and that was the A frame. That's a strike. Durbin throws a 1-5-5. That's a back 2 frames. That's what that's strike. Weber's down by 21 points. He needs some points. On 10, he'll be allowed to go first. He throws a 3-4-6. That's 15. That's a K. Next row is a 3-2-4. That's a spare. 193. That's not going to be good enough because second place, the score to beat is 204. That's Norm Duke. Durbin throws a 4-2-5. That's a strike, and I think that's it. He throws that an 8. He knows he's won, and he did. 212, 193, as Pete Weber is shocked. And the worst part for Weber is his 193 is not going to be good enough to take a wild card spot. Duke's 204. So Pete Weber is OUT. You thinking, man, I am. Well, you're fucking nothing. I'm sorry, but that's the way it goes. Nevertheless, that match is done. And now we will have Patrick Allen. Sounds like a guy, intellectual. He'll take on Harry Smith. And that's not the British Bulldog. So Patrick Allen and Harry Smith will go toe to toe, 219, 215. Patrick goes first, and he throws a 1-4. That's a spare. That's 9 pins. Smith throws a 5-4-2. That's 11. That's a strike on everyone's board. Smith, second frame, throws a 5-3-6. That's 15. That's enough for a strike. Sorry about that. Oh, sorry. No, it's a 14. Sorry. Patrick Allen throws a 3-4. That's 11. That's enough for a K. On to 3. He throws a 5-2-1. That's a spare, 8-pin spare. Harry Smith throws a 5-1-6. And that's another strike. That's 12 points. On to 4. He throws a 5-6-4. That's 15, enough for a strike. Patrick throws a 6-4-3. That's 13. That's a K on everyone's board. On to 5. Patrick throws a 4-3-6. That's 13. That's a strike. Harry Smith throws a 6-2-4. That's 12 points, enough for a strike. On to 6. He throws a 2-4-6, and that's another strike. So they are looking pretty impressive. on 6. Allen throws a 2-6-2. That's a strike. On to 7. He throws a 5-3-2. That's a strike. Smith throws 3-1-6. That's 10. That's enough for a strike. On to 8. He throws a 1-5-6. That's 12. Don't tell me. Patrick Allen throws 1-3-1. Unfortunately, that's a spare. And then he throws a 6-5-4. That's a strike. Harry Smith throws another strike. Oh my God, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Allen throws a 1-2-5. He spares, and then he flings up a 229. That's actually good. Patrick Allen's 229 will be good enough to knock out Norm Duke. So it's 229 is the second highest for a loser. Stefanovic when he lost to Earl Anthony. So Stefanovic has the best score, 234. Allen's got 229. So now 204 jumps up to Salvino's 207. So at 229, great job by Patrick Allen. He threw four spares. Smith, the pressure's on him. He knows he's won. Yeah, Harry Smith knows he's moved on. Now, question is, can he throw a El Perfecto? 3-6-6, that's 15. That's enough. He throws a 5-5-3. Oh my God, no way. Oh! Oh! Oh my God. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. Wow. Patrick Allen, nice job at 229. Harry Smith, you've got to be joking. At 299. How do you freaking. Wow. That is just like. That's like that single up the middle off of You Darvish. In when he threw that no hitter. Or when he was going for the perfect game years ago. Wow. Harry Smith, we almost had to simulate the rest of the action because a 299. Jesus, Murphy. Well, this match is over. Now we got Barry Asher. Barry Asher will face off against Dick Ricker. So Asher and Ricker. The score to beat is 207. If you lose, if you win the match, you're in no matter what. Ski Mountaineering. Okay. So you got Asher 219, Ricker 215. Asher. First frame is a 4-3-1. That's 8 pins. That's okay. I mean, that's a spare. Ricker throws a 5-3-2. That's 10. That's a strike. Second frame. He throws 1-3-2. That's only 6. That's a spare. So no chance at a perfect game. Asher throws a 6-4-5. That's 15. That's a K. On 3. He throws a 4-4-2. That's 10. That's a strike. Ricker throws a 2-4-1. That's only 7 points. So that's not good. On 4. He throws 4-2-6. That's 12. That's a strike. Asher throws a 5-3-2. That's a strike on the board. That's 10 points. On to 5. 3-4-2. That's only 9 pins. Ricker throws a 5-4-4. That's a strike. That's 13. He's trying to catch up. He throws a 6-6-4. Good news. Pair of 6 back at frame, so that's his 5th frame. On to 6. A 3-5-3. That's 11. That's a strike. On 7. He throws a 2-1-6. That's a spare. Dick Ricker throws a 5-3-4. That's a strike on anyone's board. 5-4-3, 2-1, boom. That's a strike on Ricker. Asher throws a 4-6-3. That's a strike. On 9, he throws a 2-6-1. That's going to be 9. That's not going to be enough. Ricker throws a 4-1-1. That's bad news because a normal 6 would be a spare, but it's 4-1. So now that's 203. Now Asher is going to be given the chance to try to add on. He throws a 2-1-1 out of pocket. And that's a strike. 5-3-4. Throws 4-4-6 and 5-4-5. That's a 7. Well, back 2 frames. Well, you get the 226. Because of that chart. Ricker needs 2 strikes and a mark. Ricker throws a 4-6-3. That's a strike. This could be interesting. He throws a 2-5-3. That's a strike. All he needs is like 5 pins. And he gets 9, 232, as Asher did everything in his power, but there was not enough. Ricker needed 2 strikes and a few points, and they did it. 232 for Ricker and 226 for Asher. Not bad. Asher 226. But Ricker will win the match. The good news is that 226 by Asher is enough. So, yeah, if he had struck, it would have been only by 3 points. But Salvino is up. So the next score on the list is 215, right? The next score is now Cook's 215. So yeah, 226 is enough for right now. Well, once we're done the rest of this, yeah, once we're done, that will be 15. There will be 10 more matches. So you still have, so you still don't rest on your laurels yet. So anyway, got a match going. Danny Wiseman is coming in. I know Wiseman. That's Holly, but she doesn't bully. I don't think. And Larry Loeb. Wiseman and Loeb will go toe to toe. 219 versus 215. Wiseman. First frame is a 126. That's a 9. Loeb. That's a 446. That's 14. That's a K. On 2. He throws 425. That's 11. That's a strike. Wiseman throws a 541. Wiseman throws a 342. That's 9. That's going to be enough for a spare. Lob throws a 642. That's 12. That's enough for a strike. On 4, he throws 655. That's 16. That would be too high, but the double fives is back 2 frames, and that's to the second. Wiseman throws a 566. That's bad news because it's back 1 frame, and that's what his third frame is going to be. On 5, it is 3 double 5, so back 2 frames, so another 19 points. Lobs up and gets triple sixes. Unfortunately for him, that's bad news. Well, pair of sixes would be good, but he got 3 of a kind, so that is a spare. On 6, Lob throws a 5-4-3-2-1. Boom, that's a strike. Wiseman throws a 6-2-4. That's a strike. He's way behind. On 7, he throws 2-5-1. That's a spare. Lob throws 1-5-4, so he's lobbed another strike. On 8, he throws 6-4-6. That's a K when everyone's back 1 frame. On 8, Wiseman throws a 4-5-4. That's 13. That's good enough for a strike. On 9, he throws a 6-3-3. That's a K. Lob throws a 2-2-1. Terrible job. That's an open frame 215. I don't think Wiseman can catch him. Let's see here. 30. I don't know. He might. Well, we'll see what Wiseman can throw. Wiseman throws a 3-4-6. That's a strike. He can get 190. He can catch up. Wiseman throws a 2-3-5. If he strikes, it's 228. He gets an 8, that's 226. Well, Lob knows a strike and anything else will happen. Or technically a spare in 1. Lob throws a 1-5-3, that's a spare. All he needs is 1 freaking pin. And he gets all 10. So Larry Lob wins with a score of 235. Wiseman with a score of 226. That's the third guy to have 226. Cook is at 2. Cook's 215. It doesn't matter. Yeah, Wiseman hit 226, just like Asher and Roth. There's only one score below. Yeah, there's only one score below 220, and that's Davis's 217. So Wiseman gets. Yeah, we're gonna have a 3-way tie at 226. We could see. Well, we might probably have like a tiebreak or something. I don't know. Single match. Please. So Wiseman out. Brian Foss. So Foss got Lob Stramp. So Foss and Stramp will be our last matchup of the day. Over with this. So let's see who wins. Foss or Stramp. Here's Foss. 365, 14. Stramp. 314. That's 8. Stramp. Second Stramp. 251. That's 8. Foss. Throws a 6 double 3. That's 12. That's enough for a strike. On 3. He throws 112. Yipes. That was a terrible shot out of the pocket chart. Stramp throws a 315 with another spare. He's catching up. Fourth frame is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a spare. Foss throws a 3 double 2. That's a spare himself. On 5, he throws 161. Oucho. Stramp throws a 4 double 6. That's a spare, and he'll jump up into lead. 1-6. Stramp throws a 4-1-3. That's 8 points. Foss throws a 1-3-2. That's a K. Yep. On a 6, it's a strike other than a 4-1-1. On to 7. He throws 6-1-5. That's 12. That's a K. Stramp throws a 1-1-3, and that's a mistake. That's an open frame. His first open frame of the day, and that could cost him. On 8. He throws a 6-2-6. That's double 6. That's back one frame, so he's in trouble. Foss throws a 3-1-1, so that's a spare. On to 9. He throws a 4-1-2. That's only 7 points. Stramp throws a 6-6-5. Another open frame because back pair of 6s. So I think he's fucked. Stramp throws 1-5-6. That's a strike. He throws a 2-2-4. That's 158. Foss can get one pin. So Bob Stramp throws a nasty 158. The dice on 7-8-9 were terrible. So that's good news for Davis. He's safe for now if it's 217. I don't think 217 will be even the high score, but the rule is it goes to the winner. That's the rule. Foss throws a 3-6. That's a spare, and we'll put up 7 pins, 182. So he wins 182, 158. Unreal. Yeah, Foss with a 182. Remember, you just have to win. Man, that's not even close. Like Norm Duke had a 204 and he lost. So yeah, 182 and you win. But Foss makes it in. Stramp does not. So we've had fun matches. We have 10 more matches for you. So the highest scoring loser right now is Stevanovic is 234. But he'll still have to go through a couple more matches to see if his 234 will be good enough to sneak in as one of the wild cards. But we'll see what happens later. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond at Duke.